Hey, sugar, looking good.
Me?
Not you, you.
Oh. Hello, my name is Jay Qualls. I am the owner and lead cake designer for Maples Wedding Cakes. I'm 42 years old. 42! And I'm from Nashville, Tennessee. Welcome to my world. My favorite thing in the whole wide world, wedding cake.
Do you have any cake decorating or pastry experience?
Well, yes, I do, as a matter of fact.
What's your best and worst quality?
What is my best quality? Do you really want to know? Me!
How would you describe your personality?
Diva.
How would your friends and toughest critics describe you?
Bitch.
Is there a specific genre of food desserts you like to bake or cook?
Wedding cakes.
Are you creative in the kitchen?
Yes!
Where do you get your recipes?
I just keep it simple.
How do you put your own personal twist on recipes?
All we do different is add sour cream. It's not that easy! You have to remember, I'm pretty self-taught. It's not that easy! If you don't have your brush wet enough, it's not that easy! It doesn't pull like it should.
Complete this sentence. If I were an ingredient, I would be...
Ingredient. Butter. Why? It's delicious in everything.
Do you have a competitive nature? Give me some examples. If you've watched any or all of the previous Cake Boss seasons, which cast members do you most relate to, and why?
Mary, because she speaks her mind, and what you see is what you get.
Tell us about your food industry experience.
I've been decorating cakes for 18 years. I'm a self-taught cake designer. I decorated my first cake on April the 26th, 1992 for my daughter. It was her first birthday. And fell in love with the art of cake decorating and designing at that point, and I've been doing it ever since.
Wait.
Okay, never mind.
There you go.
Alright.
See that?
Why do you want to be on this show?
Because I want to be famous for designing wedding cakes. I want to be recognized when I walk down the street. I want people to ask me for an autograph. I want to be the next star.
If you're up against other contestants, will you be competitive in order to win the cash and prizes?
I'll do whatever necessary to win. I'll gouge their eyes out. I'll turn off their refrigerator. I'll break their mixer.
Well,
No, I'm just kidding.
You went to...
Why should we pick you to be on the series?
Because you want to be successful and I'm your ticket. Because I think I'm the best wedding cake designer in the country. Because I'm fabulous. I think Buddy calls this dirty icing. We call it slicking. It's where we're putting a crumb coat on the wedding cake layers before we cover them in fondant. We would cover this cake drum in a coordinating fondant that the cake would be covered in as well, and so that the board coordinates with the cake, and then we would finish the board with a cording or a ribbon that would match and coordinate with the colors of the wedding. So now what we're going to do next is I'm going to knead some fondant and I'm going to roll it out through the sheeter, and I'm going to show you how to cover a cake in fondant. So, at this point, what I've got is some fondant that I'm kneading into a soft consistency. And then what I'm going to do, and you'll notice I'm kneading, this is how we cover all of our cakes, and I'm rolling it in on itself. I'm going to use a mixture of cornstarch and a little bit of powdered sugar, thin enough to pick up and lay onto a sheeter. You're going to bring it over to your cake, and you're going to unroll the fondant onto the cake. And now what I'm going to do is prepare the cake, finish the cake, and for it to be decorated. And what we call, here in the South, we call that stuffing. We call that fluffing Miss Scarlett's dress, because if you see, what you want to do is you want to pick the fondant up away and then tuck it in around the base. And you really want your buttercream to be nice and moist before you, so the fondant will stick to the cake very nicely. So you can see I have everything ready. So what I'm going to do is take my fondant paddles, I'm going to smooth out the sides, make sure they're nice and even and level. And then I'm going to use my trusty knife here. This is my favorite tool that has ever been invented. We use it for everything in this kitchen. My friend Nikolaj gave this to me, and it's fantastic. So I'm going to show you how to use that. And we save the excess fondant because it's quite expensive. And there you have it. Your cake is ready for decorations. What I'm going to show you and demonstrate to you now is how to do brushed embroidery. Beautiful technique that can be done pretty quickly. And you can use your own style to do it. Is we're going to pull the edges of the royal icing toward the center of the decoration, with some little dots to finish the centers, put some stamens in there, and then maybe pipe a beautiful vine with a leaf side. Let's pull the design up like that. Looks really soft and flowy. Beaded border. Usually that coincides with the color of the cake or the brush embroidery that you're doing. You know, embellishments like that. That's just a quick lesson in brush embroidery, and it's one of my favorite techniques, and I hope you like it too.